don't know if this truck's gonna make it home. They're pretty dirty. Hopefully they didn't have to use it much. It's definitely getting better. This is the first video of me buying an old Dodge Ram pickup truck and cleaning it, restoring it, putting a camper on the back to take it off-roading. Our way to go look at the next camper build project car. So stay tuned for that. Alrighty. I don't know if this truck's gonna make it home. Transmission's definitely wonky, and the dash and everything rattles like crazy. I didn't even check the heater or AC. It just starts and it drives, so that's good enough for me, I guess. We got it back. There it is. Just picked it up. It's not running all that well, definitely misfiring. Transmission is definitely also not shifting properly, and it came with 8 tires in the bed, so I guess 12 total, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, we're gonna figure out what's going on with it first. Kind of tight squeeze here, but got some rust. Definitely probably take care of if we can get it running right. Those will come off. I don't know, I'm trying to decide what to start with. Probably the misfire and then the transmission. So if we can get it running well, we're gonna put a camper on the back. Yeah, I've never bought one of those. I've never even used one of those, but if we can get it running right, we're gonna put one on here. I also got this SX12 winch that's like brand new for a good deal, so we'll have to figure out a bumper situation and put that on the truck. First thing first, I want to start by checking transmission fluid, because that could explain the weird shift patterns. It looks like plenty of fluid. Okay, so transmission fluid is overfilled. I'm not sure if that would cause the issue. It doesn't seem overfilled by much, but it's definitely above the line, so I don't know, maybe that could play a role. Noticing a couple things here. You can see the top of the shock absorber over there, and then you'll notice what's missing over there. Shock absorber has totally failed and collapsed through the shock tower, just hanging on in there. Also, the exhaust muffler completely rusted out. Temperature gauge, coolant temperature gauge, definitely not working. I don't really know the difference between the 5.9 and 5.2 Magnum V8s, but it's bigger, so it's got to be better. Just found this in the back of the truck. Hopefully they didn't have to use it much. I'm sure that serves a purpose, but I don't want to hear about it. That's better. All the auto parts places are closed, so I can't go get spark plugs tonight. I'm gonna put all these wheels and tires that I got out of the back on Marketplace. We're gonna do the spark plugs. Hopefully that fixes the misfire, but we'll see. That's all 8 spark plugs. Probably only took like 15 minutes. They're pretty dirty, but I don't know that they'd cause a misfire. I don't know, we'll see. It's as easy as that. It seems to be idling a lot better, so I'm gonna go ahead and drive it and we'll see. Okay, so the misfire is definitely fixed, and it was not firing on that back cylinder because I don't know if you can see it, but it's smoking like crazy now. That's encouraging because that means we got, you know, it's definitely firing on all cylinders now. So definitely a lot of oil, valve cover seal to clean up, but that's a good sign. I also verified the 4-wheel drive does work. Thing I need to tackle, because working in and on this thing is kind of disgusting. I'm gonna take the seats out and the carpet out and just clean them super well. We're gonna clean the interior at least so it's livable. The seat motor's broken or something and it wouldn't come forward. I needed to get it forward to get to these two bolts in the back here. But I got these two lead wires, plugged them into the connector here, and reversed the polarity to connect to the seat motor diodes. I don't know if they're diodes, leads on there. Press this backwards, which actually made it go forwards. We'll have to fix that while we have the seat off, but it worked to get the seat forward so we can get it out. Okay, got them all out. Apparently they all come out as a set, which was a pain, but at least we have access to getting the bulk of the carpet out now. All right, I've got the carpet pretty much loose everywhere, except for this thing. So I'm probably just gonna rip it. All right, be smarter than me. This has to come unbolted. So if you're ever working on one of these, don't try to just rip it. You won't be able to. Productive. I got the wiring for some kind of old sound system out. Got a lot done tonight. This was my to-do list. Spark plug's done, carpet's out, 4x4 works. We verified that, got yelled at by some neighbors. Seats are out. But the carpet I do think is salvageable, so we're gonna clean that off tomorrow. I'm gonna bring it in, pressure wash it, shampoo it, do all that tomorrow and get some more done hopefully. I just have one question. For those of you who don't pull out your carpet and seats when you buy a used vehicle, how many people have you murdered? I just want to hear it start up one more time. Jess and I are going to pick up some used seats. And I just got back from picking up these seats. It came with a rear seat. Obviously my truck's a single cab, so I don't need that, but they're in much better shape. Pretty chewed up. And they're just kind of gross in general. So speaking of gross, we got to clean this carpet up. I'm going to start by vacuuming it, then we're going to pressure wash it. I have a drill brush attachment. We're going to shampoo the whole thing, pressure wash it again, and then it's probably going to take maybe 1 or 2 days sitting out in the sun to dry. So we got to get that started. This is the carpet. There's still some stains for sure. It is definitely not perfect, but it's way better, and hopefully it gets rid of the smell. I mean, that's the main thing I was trying to get rid of anyways. So here's the interior without the carpet. There's bolts and coins and all kinds of stuff. Here is the seat, the seats going into it. They're all manual, which I'm fine with because the power seats over there were broken. I'm not too worried about the carpet still being kind of stained. I'm probably gonna do WeatherTech floor mats in it anyways. Totally worth the money for keeping the carpet clean going forward, and it just looks way better because it'll cover up the stains. So I'm gonna be doing, or probably order some of those. The carpet is still hanging on the fence drying, so I'm going to try and tackle some of the interior. All right, this is just the first round of cleaning it out. Just getting all like mud and dirt out of here. It's looking way better. So once we get it all back together, we can do like a detail on it. We'll clean the door jambs, get the door cards a little better. We also got the running boards off. Looks way better without them. Once we get the interior back together, we're gonna work on the steering because it's super sloppy. Here. So maybe the steering box leaked out. I don't know. I can't tell where it's coming from. Maybe it's just old ball joints and stuff, but we got to replace the suspension anyways. So we might as well just get in there and do like all the ball joints, all the steering. Anyways, that's going to be it for today as well. I might end the video here and pick up where I start next. Stay tuned for part 2. We're going to keep working on this truck. We're gonna get some wheels and tires on it. We're gonna get a camper on it eventually, so stay tuned to see what's next. And if you like the video, like and subscribe, I guess. I'm pretty new to this whole thing, but if enough people like it, then I'll keep filming it. Oh, also, last thing, I gotta shout out Justin, my father-in-law, for letting me use his extra shop here. Without him, I wouldn't have the space to do this kind of stuff. So if you ever watch this, thank you. Thanks for watching.